Hey YouTube family, how you doing? Hey, it's such a joy once again. I want to thank you all for obviously tuning in, subscribing to this and being a part of this experience. What I love about what we put out on YouTube, how many of you know it's exclusive? It's not just church online, but it's leadership nuggets. And this morning we've had Pastor Matt Heins speak to our church at our 9 a.m. and our 11 a.m. And can I just say, it's been such a God experience. For those of you who don't know, Pastor Matt is part of the movement that we're part of, the Australian Christian Churches in Australia. He's the state executive there, forever growing in influence and in his role there. Pastors a church in Melbourne. If you're ever visiting Melbourne, a great church to check out is Faith Church on the north side with 6 locations out there and thousands of people walking in and out of that building every weekend. Just this Christmas gone, and we were having coffee before, just this Christmas gone, Pastor Matt was sharing about the over 1,000 people that they fed as part of their program. And can I just say, it's been so inspiring having you with us. My wife and I, our staff, we've all been taken to the next level. And I just wanted to share, I have a few questions, a few leadership thoughts that I'd love for you to share with our audience, which is one of the things we noticed very quickly the moment we met, just hearing you speak, even some of the mind map that you were helping us process, is that you are a strategic thinker. There's no doubt about it. You've been designed that way. I'm not sure if that's the way you have been all your life. I'm not sure if it's an art you've developed. But we all know that as leaders, our life gets cluttered, our life gets cloudy. So one of the things I notice is you think with incredible amount of clarity. And what are some of the techniques or routines that you have in place to ensure that you're thinking clear when it comes to having strategic thinking and clarity?
Yeah, so the book of Proverbs, it talks about that a man without self-discipline is like a city without walls.
Wow.
You know, and so the reality is that many times we can allow any thought to come into our lives, we can allow any type of attitude to come into our lives. You know, if we don't bring leadership into our thought life, into our attitudes, into our behaviour, then really we're like a city without walls, that anything can kind of come in and just ruin us and destroy us and rob us. And so the walls that I have in my life are the things that I call routines.
Wow.
So I have a daily routine. There are things that I recognise that I need in order for that routine to function. And so every morning I'll get up early, I'll have my devotions, I'll read the word, I will pray, and then I'll go to the gym, right? And I eat well. And I find if I look after my health and well-being every morning, it actually sets me up for the day.
Wow.
And so that routine, if I break that routine, I struggle. Because you don't understand, being a minister, you have a lot of people come to you with their stuff, their emotions, their problems. It's easy for you to carry those things, and then you can just be robbed of your own emotional energy. And so every morning I have my routines, and I keep those routines. I don't break them. When I'm feeling good, I don't break them. When I'm feeling bad, I don't break them.
You know, they're not in the mood, you still don't break them.
I still don't break them. Because I find that over a period of time, you know, it's like going to the gym or it's like eating healthy. It's a cumulative effect. You look back and you go, gee, I've really added something to my life.
Wow.
So that's really important for me.
Wow. It's like the principle of compound interest. It just keeps compounding.
Yeah, exactly.
You gain the interest of that.
Yeah, that's
so, if I may ask, do you wake up real early? How do you accommodate all that?
So I wake up between 5 and 5:30 every morning.
Right.
And so I will do my devotions for about an hour.
Yeah.
And then from there, I'll go to the gym, come back. If I don't need to take the kids to school, I'll do that. So that I'm in the office normally around 9:15.
Wow, that's beautiful. And can I just say, that seems so simple, but we've got youth pastors, upcoming leaders, pioneers, stuff like that, practical stuff like that, and we can implement can be so beneficial in the long run. So you see that is your me time. That's also in a way how you worship God, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And look, at the end of the day, I have to take responsibility for my wealth and for my health and well-being.
Wow.
So my church doesn't take responsibility for that. I take responsibility for that.
Wow.
And many times in an environment when you're dealing with other people, you think that other people are there for your well-being.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you have to look after yourself. That's the big one for me.
I heard, this is a sort of a span in the works, we didn't have this conversation, but I heard you share this once at a leadership roundtable, which I wasn't a part of, but I listened to the audio, and you said these lines, when you look inward, you focus. would you be able to expound on that? What does that mean when you look inward? You were talking to leaders in the room, just to give you the understanding. You were saying that a lot of leaders are always looking outwards, this situation. But you said when you look inward, you actually create focus. Can you just share a couple of seconds? What is the whole thought process with that code?
Yeah, I think, look, like anything, you can take it to extreme where you're always looking inward. But the inward that is healthy is actually identifying the things that are stopping you from breaking forward.
Wow.
Okay, so for example, if you have fears, well, what are the source of my fears? Are they founded? Are they unfounded? Where do they come from?
Wow.
My insecurities. Many leaders operate out of insecurity. And so because of that, they don't attract great people, they can't make great decisions, they make reactive decisions rather than proactive decisions. So by looking inward, you begin to analyse, am I insecure, am I fearful? And you can look pragmatically on those issues rather than emotionally and go, so what are the things that are stopping me from actually breaking through my insecurities? So growing up, I was very insecure, very insecure, very fearful, very shy. So I've taken this long journey to get to this point.
Wow.
And really the number one thing I've recognised is that most of the insecurities and fears that we deal with in life are really unfounded.
Wow.
But that's come out of personal revelation.
Yes. So you've obviously got your morning routine. Do you have what I call allocated time to think?
Most of my time in thinking is done in that morning.
Beautiful.
So when I do my devotions, I'll often say, okay, God, what are you saying out of the scripture?
Yeah.
Then a whole generation of thoughts will come out of that. And I'll just write those thoughts down. So I'll write them down. I carry a dictaphone with me in the car as well.
Wow.
When I'm driving to work, often God will remind me about what he spoke to me about in the morning. I'll put that on the dictaphone and then I'll revisit that again. And so I find that if I'm on top of that, I get to the work day and I've already got my list, my agenda, my thoughts, my ideas, and I can operate out of that for the day, the week, the month.
Wow, beautiful. Next thought I want to discuss, or unfold rather, was, if I may ask, how many do you have on staff?
Yeah, so we have between 25 and 30 people on staff.
That is crazy. So obviously there might be a business person watching this video that's got that environment. I'm sure there's pastors as part of this conversation. So that's big. So you've got obviously a church, you're doing ministry on the weekends, but really it's organization. It is an organization. And you were talking about a nurturing versus a performance-driven environment. And can you just expound a bit on that, on you needing to know that I'm a pastor, but I'm also the CEO of Faith Church Limited. And what does that look like, and how sometimes that can be mixed up on a staff level, and how you have to maintain the focus on performance?
Yeah, well, I think there's a balance of both. If you have healthy staff, then they're going to perform well.
Yeah.
So if you've got a staff member that's looking after the youth, if they've got a clear mind, if they're healthy, then they're going to make healthy decisions for their leaders that work with them as well.
Yeah.
But in anything, you've got to make sure that there's a balance with that. There is a performance aspect of it as well.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, if you're on staff, if you're a leader, we have a job to do, we have a task to do, this is where we're going, this is what we're doing.
Wow.
And so, and again, letting my leaders or my staff know that they have to be self-feeders. They have to dig the well themselves, So, if they are so flat out after hours and then they come to church tired, ready to work, well, that's not my problem that they're tired. They need to manage their own personal world in a way that they're ready to be effective for church, on a week-to-week basis. So, that's the big thing in my staff. They are self-feeders. So we're there to counsel them, we're there to help them, we're here to love them, but really that's kind of an adjunct to they themselves being self-feeders. So one of the things I look for in future staff members, are you a person that has the ability to dig the well yourself with God? You've got systems in your own life that's providing nourishment to your soul. If you are undisciplined behind the scenes, you are not going to work well on our staff.
Wow, that is brilliant. And I'm just so thankful that you're able to articulate that with a lot of clarity, because I know a lot of pastors struggle to even say that, do they think that? Because sometimes I have been in staff environments and I've been in places and spaces where it becomes more all on Monday and Tuesday is a counseling session until 5 p.m. And then, we've got all this work to do now. And pastors are counseling and this and that and this, and they're really not getting the, obviously there's a time and space if someone is going through a situation, but I think a big part of, I know you said self-feeder, but I personally also think a big part of that is emotional stability and having a robust emotion and managing it and self-awareness of that. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And we have an environment that if our staff are struggling in an area, they'll come and talk to us and we'll help them and give them some keys. A lot of the devotions that I have with the staff are more about internal things than external performance things.
Wow.
There's a lot of the devotions about, lifting the lid and increasing your capacity and, dealing with some of the thought processes that kind of hold you back or put fear into your life, sleeping well. There's a period of time there that we had a counsellor come in just to give our staff good keys on how to handle stress and how to manage themselves. So we do all of those things as well. But if they just listen to it but don't apply it, right, it's going to be a problem. They have to listen to it and apply it to their own personal life. So we give them the tools, but if they're going to function well on our team, they're going to be people that are going to lean in, be self-feeders, take that information, take that knowledge that we've given them and actually apply that in their own personal world.
Beautiful. Wow. One last conversation, one last thought is buildings and venues. There might be a pastor out there that's probably pioneering a church or starting another location or whatever, just information that they're gathering as they plant a church. One of the things I've heard and I've seen is that whenever you're starting a location or looking at a location, the next thing that you try to get them very quickly, either you try to launch or start in a permanent facility or you try and get them into that very quickly. That's sort of a different thought process to a lot of other pastors that think that you got to hit a certain benchmark, you got to be at a certain level of finances to us even be looking that way. Your approach is very different. We can say that Downpour has thrived because we were actually able to launch our own venue. We say that's one of our best reasons why we've been able to see that happen and see success. But what would you share? What's your philosophy behind wanting to lock in a venue, lock in a permanent space, lease something as you do locations?
Look, I think it has to always be on the agenda. I think what a lot of people do is they will have it on the agenda, then they'll take it off, they'll focus on other areas in the life of the church that have needs, and then they'll revisit it again at some future stage. And the reality is you have to always have it on the agenda. So, we've got one of our campuses at the moment that we've got them into a venue. The venue is now too small. It's been very difficult to find them a new venue. I think we're close to it, but this has been a 3-year journey of a constant focus and keep chipping away. I think any opportunity in life is often like a numbers game. I think sometimes in leadership, we can treat breakthrough almost like a jackpot. Well, we hope it all falls into this area. But the reality is in leadership, you just got to keep chipping away, keep looking, keep researching. God, give me wisdom. God, direct me. God, help me in these areas. And it's that constant day-to-day revisiting that issue that you do see breakthrough, And I always say to my church, look, we may try 5 things and only 3 of them will work or 2 of them will work. But those 2 things we would have never discovered had we not gone after those 5 things.
Wow.
So in that process of discovery, we can find gold.
Wow, okay. Now we do what I call a lightning round. It's pretty random, it's pretty quick. So, Pastor Matt, you're like long blacks or macchiato?
Macchiatos.
Apple or PC?
PC.
Are you serious? Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
Okay, let's go. Coke Zero or Pepsi Max?
Coke Zero.
Okay. Sparkling water or still water?
Sparkling.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. We just had the lightning round. I love every choice that he has except for PC, but we'll talk about that offline. I'm sure your church media ministry is running on max, no doubt about that. But thank you again. Thank you so much, Pastor Matt, for joining in. We hope to see you again, and we just so appreciate this conversation.
Thank you. See you.